Okay, in this video we're going to be working with Google Cloud, so let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to just search for Google Cloud. Seems the easiest way to do it. Here you see that free trial. So if you haven't signed up already, click that link when you do the search and sign up. You'll get, as it says, $300 credit, more than enough for this class, and you have 12 months to use it. So I'm just going here, and I'm going to go to my console. Now Google organizes things by what are called projects. And projects really are more a billable accounting type thing than like a project you'd think in computer science. But to start, we need to create one, and I'm going to create one here. I'll create one called database work. Database work looks good to me. I'm going to create it. And it takes a while to get that database work up and running. You can see that it's loading here. These initial steps take some time. There's that turning wheel of work. I don't know what it's exactly doing, but it looks like it's ready to go. So let's click on that and open it. Okay, now we can create what's called a compute engine in Google's term. In the real terms, it's a virtual machine. Google offers lots of stuff, a lot of it much better to use if you're a developer. But for example, Docker containers is kind of a hot technology these days. But really the place to start is with virtual machines. I'm just trying to get people to work with any of these newer things. Understanding of virtual machines isn't really a bad way to go. It's sort of a necessity. So we're going to be working with virtual machines. And I'm going to go here to compute engine, VM instances, maybe. And it says this may take a minute or more. Okay, and now we can go ahead and create a virtual machine by hitting this create button. Hopefully this will work. And a lot of times it's just this blank image. I'm not sure why. I think it's a glitch of some sort, although lots of people don't like to use the word glitch, but let's go with it. So we're just going to wait here a moment. Okay, so here we get an opportunity to configure our virtual machine. We can give it a name. I'll just stick with instance 1. We can give it a zone. So Google has data centers everywhere. Let me see. I think I have some things up. That's just kind of a picture of what data centers look like. It's kind of a fascinating thing. You can do a virtual tour of a data center, a Google Street View inside a data center, but the real ones are here's where they're located in the US. There's one in Virginia. I don't see it popping up here, or I guess I'm missing it. But they're all over. You can look here. I guess it's a better list of when you select US Central 1. That's in Council Bluffs, Iowa, and 1A has these machines. So when we go back to this configuring, we can see what kind of machines we're selecting for. Like, let's say I want to select something close to me. Asia is not the way to go. So let's say I'll say US West 1C. You can go here and see US West 1. C has 2.2 gigahertz. It really doesn't matter much. It looks like they're pretty similar, but in US East 4, they all look pretty much the same too. So, but you can kind of take a look. You want to find a data center close to you probably. So let's go ahead and do that. Sorry for that kind of yakking business, but let's do it. So we're going to select US, not Central. I'm going to select West close to me. I'm here in New Mexico. I don't need this big guy with a micro. Since you have a fair amount of money, that $300, you might want to go up to a small. That'll give you a little bit more leeway when you do Postgres, and especially when you do Cassandra. I doubt if later on in the course the micro will work, but you can always change it later, so that's not a big deal. So for now I'm going to stick with micro. I want to have an Ubuntu machine, not a Debian, so I'm going to change that. And select Ubuntu 17.04. Why not? 10 gig hard drive, more than enough. that I'm going to keep, and we want HTTP, so I'm going to select those two. And now I'm going to say create. And as you can see, you can create a virtual machine. Other than this initial waiting, and the others go much, much faster, it probably takes less than 5 minutes to create a virtual machine in Google. Okay, so now we have this virtual machine. I'm calling it instance 1 because I'm not creative. And let's connect to it with SSH. It's very simple compared to other, like compared to Amazon or something. We just can connect by, they'll open up a browser window for us. So I hit SSH and say open in browser window. It opens up this new window. We wait a little bit of time. And there we are. We're logged in. I can do anything I want, as I could in any Linux machine. I can do an ls. I don't have anything in my directory. Let me put something there, echo hi to hi.txt. So now if I do an ls, I have that hi.txt in there. I can cat it. Hi. I can print my working directory. I can see what processes are running. So it's whatever you've learned in 225 or in some Linux on your own, it's the same. Okay, so let's go ahead and install everything we need. So the first thing we need to install is Node. So if there is no Node installed, as you'll see shortly. And if I install it the way they would suggest, sudo apt-get install Node.js, I'm going to get an old version of Node. I'll get 4.7 something. And that's not what I want. So there's one hoop we need to go through to install the latest, or the version 8, which is the one I'm recommending and what we need for this class. And the first thing we're going to do is download that source. So this is downloading that package from the Node itself, or the organization itself. Once it's downloaded, it tells us what to do to install it. It says run apt-get install Node.js as root. So let's go ahead and do that. So if we want to run it as root, it's going to be sudo Okay, that's cool. And now we've installed Node.js. Let's just check the version. It's 8.2.1. Sweet. Okay, so let's install Postgres. Well, not update. So I'm updating the package list. So this is a directory. It's getting kind of the latest information about the packages to install. I'm going to install PostgreSQL. And as you can tell, I haven't mastered the teaching technique of being able to type and yak at the same time, so I'm kind of quiet when I'm typing. Okay, and so we installed all those. The next thing I want to do is set that root password for Postgres, and the way to do that is I'm going to log in as Postgres. Oh, I missed sorry, I got a little carried away there in my typing. So I'm logging in as Postgres to the program PSQL, and I'm going into the database Postgres. Okay, and now I'm setting the password for Postgres. Get the... Okay, let me just give it a shot. This is the normal way we log into Postgres. I'm just checking to see if the install worked fine, and it did. So I'm quitting out of that. So that's it. I just wanted to kind of get the basics up and running. So hopefully this helped you get started in Google. So we created a project, and then within that project we can create a number of virtual machines. We created a virtual machine in Ubuntu. We specified all the details. We're running a small instance or whatever it is that you're running, and then we SSH'd into it and installed a few packages. So next time I'll really be specific on how to get our code to Google and how to create a kind of a production machine that would be true regardless of whether you're running on Google or Amazon or whatever. So see you next time.